dedicated to eastern and southern Kentucky. This is WYMT Mountain News Weekend Edition.
Good morning, I'm Taylor Upchurch. Today is Saturday, May 18th. An emotional week here in the mountains and certainly in Magoffin County. This week, so many pulled together to rally around little Kenneth Howard. It took a lot to find him in these eastern Kentucky hills, but the good news is he's safe and with his family again. And it's a story he will learn about for years to come. Nick Oliver recaps what's being called the Mountain Miracle.
Just from speaking with that family, you really get a sense of how ecstatic they are that this little boy is coming home, and that his good health is one miracle in itself.
I want to go back and play with him as soon as I can.
9-year-old Dalton Howard has been counting down the days to when he will be reunited, an event many began to question after days and nights passed, all in the search for 22-month-old Kenneth Howard in Magoffin County.
I was just thinking what he was going through, and I was just trying to help. I went up in the woods a lot.
Dalton was one of hundreds dropping everything and searching day and night. When found dehydrated Wednesday, he was flown to this West Virginia hospital where he was set to be released today. An answer to a prayer Dalton said constantly.
Every night.
And now, ready to get back to what's normal.
It feels great to know that he's okay and that he's not going to spend any longer time have to stay in the woods.
A miracle even a child knows when he sees.
It's probably just a happy time because everybody knows that he's safe, and I'm just happy to have him.
And we are beginning to hear some plans about some type of celebration that will take place for a later date. Those details are still being planned. In Huntington, West Virginia, Nick Oliver, WKYT.
Howard suffered from dehydration and some tick bites, but doctors expect him to make a full recovery. And we also learned new details about how search teams leaders ended up finding Kenneth Howard. It might seem like an inexact science finding a missing person. However, there's much more precision and science involved than you might think. Crews say most of the search teams, including dog teams, use GPS trackers to log the locations they travel to in order to cross those locations off as clear. The issue, however, is the age of Kenneth and what kids his age typically do when lost. We talked with one search leader about how these searches even begin. They actually look at previous cases of missing people and look at the psychology of what those people did based on their age, the kind of location they're missing in, and how long they've been missing.
We used lost person behavior statistics to help define what the search area would look like. And in this case, if you reference this book, children that are, from newborns to 3 years of age, 50% of those are typically found within 0.2 of a mile from the last known point. And in this case, the last known point was the residence.
What many do not know is the information collected from search and rescue missions are then reported to the state and then into a national database. That information then helps future search missions that could be similar to what we just saw. So in a sense, that rescue mission that helped save Kenneth could help future search teams looking for the next missing toddler. And now let's check in with meteorologist Kelly McShane for a look at your forecast this morning. Kelly, it's awfully warm out there today.
It sure is. And if you think it's warm right now, just you wait until this afternoon. We will be feeling hot and humid. We're already feeling a little bit humid this morning, but at least we're off to a dry start. You can see here on Pinpoint Doppler a pretty clean sweep this morning, so overall not too bad. However, we're dealing with that very thick, dense fog in some places, especially those valley regions, so just keep that in mind. Just give yourself a few extra minutes as you head out the door this morning. You can see here there's the visibility issues. Now we just saw some fog in Perry County. I know there's a little bit of fog in Letcher County as well, and then going into Harlan and Bell County, that's where we're seeing the most dense fog this morning. So once again, just be very careful out there. Upper 50s to low 60s, even some upper 60s popping up into the Big Sandy. So overall, a mild and muggy start to the day. Here's your 12-hour planner. We're looking at that patchy fog to start off. Sunshine will dominate for the most part, but we could see a few showers and storms spark off this afternoon. So here are your headlines for today. We are dealing with that patchy dense fog that'll get out of here in the next couple of hours. Hot and humid is the name of the game heading into the forecast, and a few storms possible. Definitely can't be ruled out. I'll break down those details in just a little bit, Taylor.
All right, thank you, Kelly. A man is now behind bars after officials say he gave meth to a Letcher middle school student and tried to get him to sell it in the school. Here he is. This is Robert Heaston. He was arrested on 2 warrants. And here's more from the Letcher County Sheriff.
My understanding through the investigation is he supplied the meth to the kids to take to school and sell for him, which did not happen. I think the kids just shared it without paying for it.
Steins does urge that parents have a talk with your kids about drugs. The student who took the meth to school, his name is not being released. And a sheriff charged with DUI is back on the job. Breckenridge County Sheriff Todd Pate was arrested in March. His attorney says Pate entered a rehab program in Tennessee. He went back to work just this week. He's set to be arraigned this summer. This is his second DUI charge in just 4 years. And a trial delay in the case for a Pike County doctor and his former office assistant. Their trial was expected to begin June 24th. However, a conflict for attorneys forced a judge to delay the trial until August 12th. Federal prosecutors say Dr. Scotty Akers and Sarissa Stamper exchanged opioid prescriptions for cash from people on Facebook. They were indicted last month in the nation's largest opioid sting. And the 5th annual Breathitt County Trail Ride kicked off this week. Hundreds attend the event every year, and WYMT's Lauren McCourt talked with folks about how this one event helps boost their economy.
There's something about saddling up your horse and heading into the mountains.
I like it. I like it real good.
That makes you feel like nothing else in the world matters.
It's like the Wild Wild West.
It's a feeling that people get at the Breathitt County Trail Ride.
We've got a lot of horse people in Breathitt County.
A 4-day event that brings folks in from far and wide.
Loaded up yesterday and took off.
Brings people from out of state to see what a beautiful country we have to ride in.
To saddle up and enjoy the scenic views that Breathitt County has to offer.
Probably 100 horses out there, all different colors, sizes, shapes.
Not to mention the boost it gives the local economy.
This is a big money maker for the county.
It's a big boost financially.
It really supports our county. It brings money into our county, helps our businesses.
For the past 3 years, the Breathitt County Horsemen Association has hosted this event.
So whenever we started, we had around 100, 150 people, and now it's really starting to grow. I can see a big difference.
To not only bring riders together,
you come back here and just drive through here, you're not going to be able to enjoy all this.
But to shine a light on their community. In Breathitt County, Lauren McCourt, WYMT Mountain News.
The trail ride takes place at the South Fork Elkview and will continue until tomorrow afternoon. Now, a large group of people from 5 communities joined together at Dewey Dam in Floyd County yesterday for the 34th annual Big Sandy Senior Games. While a lot of local seniors turned out to compete in the event, a large number of people from a younger generation also showed up to lend a helping hand. Volunteers from around the region were on site, including students from some of the local schools. Many of the students said they were a little weary about giving up the day, but are now glad they did.
You may not want to, but if you actually just go out and try and have a good time, helping out people, it really makes you feel great inside. And I would really encourage more people to come out and try it.
Many of the volunteers say they're already looking forward to helping with next year's event. An initiative by a local VFW chapter is helping Purple Heart veterans find parking. Post 3769 and Pikeville Medical Center teamed up to bring a special parking spot just for those veterans. The parking spot is on the 2nd floor of the parking garage at the hospital. The spot is meant to function like a handicap spot since many Purple Heart recipients are older with injuries.
You actually got to be in the middle of combat while stuff's going on, so you're seeing things that most other humans haven't seen before.
Hospital officials say this helps honor the sacrifices those veterans made and reminds them people care. This is the 4th Purple Heart parking spot in Pikeville. Coming up later, we'll check in with Jason Lindsay to see what he's working on for us in this morning's Hooked on Science segment.
This is a good weekend to soak up some AC because it will be warm and muggy. I'll break down the temperature trend coming up next.